Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Glad to see everybody here on our regular Tuesday night 7kmetals opportunity and training session. Since we're all members, we're going to go ahead and have a training session. But one of the main purposes of this here is to really instill into each one of you and then everyone else the key ingredients for success in network marketing, and in particular 7kmetals. We have one of the greatest opportunities that's come along, I think, in the 21st century, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
You know, I did this once before in a company in the mid-90s, and to be quite frankly, with you and everyone on our team, I cleared over $1 million. That changed our life significantly. We became debt-free. I have a couple people in the room here with us tonight that can attest to that success. But we joined the company that I was with then approximately 14 months after it started. So it got a good start. It had a good foundation. But within 6 months, our organization doubled the size of the company. And it isn't necessarily us that did it, but it's a combination of many factors that did it. Because the company was headquartered in Dallas, Texas, and it was going along fine. But a lot of people like to get rich quick in network marketing. Well, I came from the corporate world as a corporate executive developing markets around the world. My background's a chemical engineer, and I have a master's in business administration. And I made a top 2% income all my life, basically since 1976. You know, around the 90s, I was really getting disillusioned with the corporate world. I think a lot of people know about some part of that evolution, and I was looking for a way out. I was looking for a plan B, and I was looking for some income tax deductions. So I evaluated every franchise that was available. I even looked at McDonald's, even though everybody had already made a lot of money in McDonald's. But, you know, buying a franchise takes a lot of money, and you got a big employee problem if you're not managing it directly. And so, even though I had an opportunity to get a couple of first-time franchises in the area, I bypassed that. I opted out, and I'm really glad I did. I fell into network marketing not because I was looking for it, but because a fellow corporate executive who I had a good degree of trust in introduced me to it in 1990, and we got involved in 1991. And it was with $1 billion company today called Nu Skin. That was my first introduction to network marketing. So can you imagine me as a Mr. Mary Kay man? But, you know, to make a long story short, you know, the company went under a lot of scrutiny right after we got in, but we were building the largest organization in the country at that time. I mean, we went from a distributor to a qualifying diamond in 12 months. Now, that was pretty good. And it's because I was excited about building an opportunity part-time, about getting a plan B, and about sharing some, you know, great technology, because the company did have the best skincare products in the marketplace, period, unequivocally. And I knew that because that was the industry I was in and supplying the ingredients for it. So I knew more than most people did. And my wife came along kicking and screaming into that industry with me. because she was the guinea pig. If the products worked on her and she liked them, obviously other people are going to like them, right? Well, she won't give them. She still uses them today. Won't give them up. Is that a clue? Okay. Well, I'm not trying to prospect you into Nu Skin. I'm not even trying to get you to buy the products. I mean, you can buy them if you want them. But I really got involved in network marketing because I walked out of the corporate world in 1994 making what many people dreamed of making in a salary. And I turned down jobs over the next 2 years at $250,000 a year. I turned them down. Didn't want to go back into work for the corporations. So the headhunters got tired of calling me, and we were building an organization, and we kept losing an organization, building an organization, losing an organization, building an organization, because you'd have all kind of new network marketing companies coming in. And Nu Skin just wasn't, you know, it was in that stage of growth. It got started in 1984. We didn't get involved into it in 1990-91. It had already gone through its momentum growth curve. So just about everybody already knew about Nu Skin, or the ones that didn't know about it. Didn't matter. They'd heard about it or whatever. You can only get so much penetration in a marketplace. Now, I'm teaching you some business skills here. Every company is going to go through this. You can only get so much penetration into a market. Okay? Because you're going to hear about a company as you're involved in 7K that I've heard about for years and didn't get involved with. Anybody ever heard Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It's called a digital coin. Well, you know, I could have bought a couple of Bitcoins for $20, $30, $40. You know, they're worth over $1,300. But you can't buy much with them, okay? They're not recognized around the world. And, you know, that was my thing. I said, you know, why do I want why do I want to trade one fiat currency for another fiat currency? You know, the dollar bill is a fiat currency. Everybody agree with that? Yeah. Okay? Because at any time the banks could change the value of it, and we don't have any control over it. Well, let me tell you what, a digital coin, it can change its value at any time, and you don't have any control over it. You may have $1 million worth of them, the next day you wake up, and they were only worth 2 cents. Duh. What a lot of people don't know, and I'm not telling you not to get a Bitcoin. I'm not telling you to get a Bitcoin. I still hadn't got one. And I watched it go from about 17 cents to $1,300. And I said, why don't I just put a couple $100 in it? You know? Well, my problem would be trying to sell that Bitcoin right now. That's my problem. You know, I know there's a lot of places that trade and let you buy stuff. But, you know, we buy stuff we need, don't we? You know, you can't go to Walmart and use a Bitcoin. You can't even go to Walmart.com and use a Bitcoin. Guess what? You can't go to Amazon and use a Bitcoin. There's only one store that lets you use it a little bit for a Bitcoin, and that's Overstock.com. Okay? Now, they're trying to get more, but what most people don't know, and the thing that I don't want to do, is I don't want to get a Bitcoin right now. Why? It's already went around the world. Everybody in the world knows about Bitcoin. But guess what? The thing that the public doesn't know is they got 700 more different crypto coins now. You know, just like they have different currencies around the world. Well, they got a lot more crypto coins right now. Now, I think 4 of them, my personal opinion, there's 4 that have a great opportunity. But I don't even have any of those. I could buy some. Doesn't mean I'm going to network them. Okay? I look at Bitcoin as kind of like gold and silver. Everybody needs to have some, just in case they're right. That's the only reason I'm evaluating the other 4. Okay? Because one of them, quite frankly, operates at 15 times faster than a Bitcoin does. Speed's what's important in the transaction, okay, in the crypto world. And it has better technology, and it's got a whole bunch of banks behind it. See, Bitcoin has 0 banks behind it. It might have Microsoft and a whole bunch of technology companies, things like that behind it. But that doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? It's because it's the business world and the banking world. And if you get the business world and the banking world and the technology companies behind one of these stupid digital currencies, now you got a winner. Because they will control. And guess what? The thing that I know, see, I'm sharing with you why I got a #1 graduate in the MBA program at LSU. I do research better than anybody. Nah, not better than anybody. But I do it extremely well. And so I'm trying to share with you and everybody that's in this that when I talk business, and I'm not just giving you an opinion. It's an opinion that is backed by a lot of research. And it's a lot of experience because I didn't develop 3 international divisions, take a company from a US-based company to a global company in my corporate career. 3 separate different divisions with 3 separate different technologies. Petroleum additives, flame retardants and electronics, meaning the things that goes in your phones, the TVs, your boards, that kind of thing. That's why I dealt with the Sonys, the Matsushittas, and the Japanese and the Korean, the Samsungs. And then pharmaceuticals. We made the active ingredients, not the finished pills. So those are the industries that I come from. And each one of them had to do the same type of thing. How do you penetrate markets? How do you get a piece of share of it? And how do you participate in it? But I was doing it as an employee, so I didn't really get the benefit from it. In network marketing, guess what you get to do? You get to benefit from it. So, Cynthia, would you say that I believe in network marketing? Why have I only done 3 companies then in my life?
Built 3 companies?
No, 3. In other words, I don't jump from one deal to the next deal. I only will do something that I really legitimately think that people can earn money at it, that I really believe in. And it has a product that I really believe in. Gold and silver is a product I really believe in. I believe in that a lot more than I believe in a crypto coin. Because, you know, I don't have any control, neither do you have any control if that crypto coin evaporates in its value overnight. But guess what we do know? Gold and silver isn't going to evaporate overnight, no matter what. Do y'all realize that? It will never evaporate. It has an intrinsic value, a true intrinsic value. That's been since man discovered gold and silver, even before Christ. It was currency. So it is the product that everybody needs some of. Now remember what I told y'all about Bitcoin? It's like the #1. Well, guess what? Tons, this is what I'm trying to tell you a little bit about research. A lot of those people, even Bill Gates and other people, a lot of those people have lots of those Bitcoins. Guess what? They're buying big stakes into this coin that I was just telling you about. So when they move from that to this, duh, what do you think the value of Bitcoin is going to do? I don't think it's going to be as valuable. So why am I telling you about Bitcoin? Because that's your competition. That's one of your competitions with gold and silver. And they'll do a lot of them through network marketing. So understand that a digital coin has no intrinsic value. It's a huge risk. It's a huge risk. So why would somebody want to be buying $100 worth a month of digital air that might not be worth something? Oh, it might be worth something in the future. But I'd rather buy something that I know is worth something and will be worth something no matter what. And it, in all probability, going to be worth a whole lot more than when I bought it or got somebody else to buy it. Wouldn't that be what you would say? Okay, now I'm going to share with you what it really takes to be successful in network marketing. Number one, it takes getting with a company that's got a great product. I'd say gold and silver it costs is a great product, wouldn't you? I mean, everybody needs to own some of them. And it's just a matter of time before everybody starts to realize that they do. Okay? If everybody wants gold and silver, I mean, truly everybody wants some. They may not do anything to get it, but they want it. You got the right product. So now let's get the right company. Well, most network marketing companies are made up of companies that one or two individuals can make tons of money. Well, the thing that attracted me to 7kmetals immediately, as soon as it was just presented to me, was number one, it had the binary comp plan, but 5 on the left, 5 on the right, you can get $500. Duh! 10 on the left, 10 on the right, you make $1,000. It zeroes out your counter, and it starts counting all over again, and so you got more people helping you the next week than you had the first week. And you can repeat that every week, and you make $1,000 a week. That's $52,000 a year off of a $250 membership. I call that a no-brainer. Anybody that doesn't do that business as a plan B, they don't understand. They haven't heard us. They have so many mental blocks in front of their eyeballs or their head. We hadn't penetrated yet. But you remember, in any business, you have the innovators that get in the beginning. Do you know most people are followers in this world?
Absolutely.
More than 80% of them. 20% of the people do 80% of the work. You ever heard that? All the time. And it's a true fact. And guess what? In that 20%, that same ratio holds. 20% of 20% is 4%. That's why you have that top 3%ers, you call it. You call the 3%ers. Okay? Now, you don't have to have an MBA. You don't have to graduate number one in your class to be a 3%er. You don't even have to have a high school degree. You're going to have the ingredients that I'm going to talk about here tonight, since we've got the right company and we've got the right products. Now, it's a matter of the other market factors. It's called timing. It's getting into business before it goes through its momentum curve. The probability of lots of people making lots of money are for those that get in a company before it goes through its momentum curve, or before everybody in the world knows about it. Everybody's already been exposed, and it's already gone around the company, all around the world. Now, this company has a probability of going completely around the world. Completely around the world. That means you can link to a person, to link to a person, to link to a person. You could have a whole country underneath you on one side. That's a real probability. But it's only a real probability if you put the ingredients that I'm going to share with you to work. What are those? Well, after being in network marketing for so many years, and hearing all the training sessions and all these people who make all these $70,000 a month and all their stories, and buying all their training programs and going to them, I saw that was a waste of money, because most people lied to you. They made the training programs after success, but that isn't how they built the business. all the successful people basically built the business the same way. But it's so simple, most people won't put it together because they can't sell that kind of program. So I put it together. And that's how I built, together with all of our teammates, because I can't do it alone. And you can't do it alone. Because if you don't build a team, you won't ever build a successful organization. And we built one of the largest organizations in the country, over 70,000 people strong. Not 70,000 sales, 70,000 people strong. Now that's one of the largest. Not many people in network marketing build an organization that large. So what I'm going to share with you is, if you've ever wanted a mentor so that you could own your own life, I'm willing to be that mentor. I mean, I don't need to make all that money anymore. I'm 70, but I probably outwork most of the people. Half the people who hear this video, I'll outwork you. And that's a shame. Because if you would just apply just a little bit, you can make more money than I ever made. Because the growth is yet to come. And so all we're looking for is to mentor someone that has the need, has the want, has the desire, and is willing to graduate from school. Yep, graduate from school. It's called 7kmetals Network Marketing Success. And anybody can do it. And guess what? No educational requirements. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You can work a full-time job and another part-time job and still do this and still be number one. You got to have that burning desire. Number one, you got to have burning desire. Now, or you could treat it like me. This is a great little, this is a lot of fun. And I pick up a lot of extra money. And I get to buy gold and silver at cost. And I enjoy it. And so I enjoy it. It's extra income for me. That's the way I'm looking at it. Okay? But that's not the way you should look at it. Those of you that aren't in my position, not already debt-free, not already basically own your own life financially, then you should look at it a little differently, I think. So what is it takes to be successful? Number one, it takes you getting in. It takes you joining. People do what you do. The longer you think, the longer you cogitate, the longer you got to have questions answered. I mean, this is pretty simple. $250. Buy coin every month. And getting a home-based business. You get the tax deductions for a home-based business, and then learn how. But at least make the commitment that you're going to learn how. At least give yourself the chance to succeed. Give yourself at least 2 years. That's what I ask. 5 to 10 hours for 2 years out of your life. Because one of the biggest mistakes anyone ever makes in network marketing is not to treat it as big business. That's the biggest mistake they make. It's a bigger business than any job you hold. It is a legitimate business. How do I know it's legitimate business? Well, you can go do all the research, but I'll just point to you Success Magazine right there. It's been on the front cover for many years. You can look at Entrepreneur Magazine. The industry of Success Magazine says that network marketing has created more millionaires than any other single industry. I think that's pretty legitimate. And you can do it without a big investment, and you can do it part-time without jeopardizing your job. This one fits the formula so much better than any other business. You get to buy gold and silver at cost. It only costs $250. It's only an annual renewal fee of what? $250 if you decide to, and that's by choice. And you earn $1,000 a week. Whew! Just kind of think about that. It's pretty powerful, isn't it? A lot of people don't even earn $1,000 a week in their full-time jobs. Do you know they got people graduating college these days? Yeah, this is 2017. They graduate from college with masters and they don't even make $40,000 a year. That's ridiculous. Well, it's big business, so you got to treat it as big business. But I tell you to do another thing. Don't just treat it as big business. Learn that every successful career requires training. Just because network marketing seems so simple and seems so easy doesn't mean you don't need training. Tell me one job you ever had in your past that you just walked in and you just started doing it and you did it better than anybody else did. Tell me one instrument that you picked up the first time you ever picked it up and you just played it better than anybody in the world. You know, there aren't many people that can do anything without a little bit of training. And so you got to be trained and you got to get the right skills, the right attitudes, and the right techniques. I call them the SATs. Get your SATs, pass your SAT, you're off to success in your network marketing venture. And I think it should be 7kmetals. Why? It just, heck, it's still in pre-launch. This is April 25th. It started November 4th. And it's been paying checks every week since it's opened, the first week. That means it's paying out money to its associates that are involved in the business every week, correct and on time. So I call that a pretty good business, pretty good start. They got a fantastic website, fantastic back office. So they hadn't even come out of launch, and they got a little contest trying to get 2017 checks out before they officially open. So 2017 checks have been earned by associates. That'll set a network marketing history record if that happens. But even if they don't set the 2017, they're still going to set a network marketing record. What is it? With the most payouts in the shortest period of time, by the time they open and before they're 1 year old. So the timing is now. Timing is to get in, get everybody associated that you know to be involved in this business some way, somehow, some fashion, until they can decide that they want to succeed. So it's making that commitment 5 to 10 hours a week. Okay, so I ask you to treat it like college or like an associate degree, something like that. But I only ask 2 years out of your life, okay, 5 to 10 hours a week, because who do you know that went through a 4-year college program and the day they graduated, they started making $100,000 a year? Unique situation. One out of a billion. Yeah. Not me. But the whole point is, the vast majority do not want. They got to learn how to do their jobs, right? They got to work themselves up. That's the key. But you know what's so exciting about this opportunity is you can actually learn how to do the business within 6 months, if not earlier, and start earning while you're learning. And so we basically say 1 year to learn, 1 year to earn, and 3 to 5 years to build a big business. You're in the right timing cycle to totally grow with this company But then, you know, I still have to relate to impress this so much and tell you why that commitment is so important. And why you got to learn those SATs, the skills, attitudes, and techniques. Because, David, how many doctors that while they're going to school, would you let them operate and do surgery on? None. You'd think twice about one that just graduated, huh? That's exactly right. So that's the same thing in this business. Don't expect to just get rich quick. Don't expect to just fall into it. Don't expect for it to go and then keep on going. Every business has spurts, ups, downs, falls, moves ups and downs, starts and stops, runs into some hiccups, right? Mm-hmm. So if the company has some hiccups, so what? Go right through them. I don't anticipate any. I'm not saying it's going to have any. I think this is one of the smoothest company starts I've ever seen in my life. And I've studied just about I've studied hundreds of network marketing companies. Because before I ever got into network marketing, that's what I did. I did what is called a Harvard MBA case study of the network marketing industry. Because I wanted to know how they grow, how they build. How can people make this much money? I just couldn't believe these compensation plans. But people made that much money. But it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, that's for sure. Now, there are a lot of schemes out there, and they're pretty easy to smell. Now, I kind of think a lot of these crypto coins are kind of like that. You know, that's the way I look at them. You know, they smell real rotten to me because they don't have any real value. And who determines the value, you know? But, you know, the whole key is don't get discouraged. So attitude. And, you know, one of the things that I learned, my attitude had to be positive, had to be right. And that's why I give everybody Attitude by Chuck Swindoll and our group. And, you know, when we were at our children, we had this posted up on the refrigerator. And so when we told them to go to the refrigerator, they knew what it meant. They had to go and read Attitude by Chuck Swindoll. We were kind of adjusting their attitude, right? Guess what? Our children, very young, before they're in the teens, could recite this by heart. They'd start saying it before they got to the refrigerator door because they had to complete it before they could go back to what they were doing. Okay? So, bottom line is, what is your job description? What does it take to be successful? And it takes that 5 to 10 hours a week. Now, what do you do in those 5 to 10 hours? One of the first things you need to do is you need to make a list of, I say 50 people. Okay? Just get out and make a list. Right there in your back office, you've got some lists in your back office of 7kmetals. They got the list. You can print them out, start making it. It tells you how to do it. In fact, I want you to go through the 7kmetals trainings. Greatest training, best training, right there. You don't even have to pay for it. It's right there in your back office. Make sure you watch that. This is just in addition to it. Okay? And so number 2 is make your list. Number 3 is to make sure every day, 5 days a week, for at least 15 to 30 minutes, you watch a video or read on your website until you know your website inside and out, backward and forward. In other words, you could do like I do. I could be on the phone. I don't even have to have the website. I'd be driving. I could tell people what to click on, where to go, what link, where it is, and how to sign up real quick. Okay. Or, you know, what video to watch, or what, you know, what to do to answer their questions, where to buy the coins at, where the numismatic coins at, which tab they're on. I know that website back and forth. You need to know the same thing. So you need to know what your tools are. Your website is your tools. It's your thing that does all the communication. You don't have to communicate a thing. You just have to be the person that shows them where everything's at. Okay? Tour guide. That's all you have to do. Be a good tour guide. Okay? And the reason for that is because network marketing success is based on duplication. And so if you explain everything, then everybody thinks they got to explain everything. Just be a good tour guide. Okay? Know your materials and point them to where they can see the same things for questions answered. Know when your opportunity calls are. You know, the one at noontime, the one in the evening, the company call, once a week on Monday nights. The next thing you need to do, fourth thing, is attend a training session opportunity meeting once a week, like we're doing here tonight. And you say, well, when you're doing an opportunity meeting, it's the same thing over and over and over again. Yep, it is. But guess what? Somebody's got a guest there. We're all teammates to help them understand the significance of this opportunity and the importance of it. And your attitudes are what help impress upon that person that this is something they want to be associated with or something they don't want to be associated with. So if you're going to sleep when we're playing the opportunity video because you've seen it 100 times already, they think, wow, I don't know if I want to get involved with this. Everybody going to sleep. You know, especially if you snore. Nah. But anyway, it's a very simple job description. And the fifth thing is you've got to expose the business. Now, 7kmetals in their training video has some very simple techniques on how to expose the business. I have some additional techniques. You're going to learn all the techniques. Don't learn all the techniques before you try. The key is just start sharing with everybody on your list, one at a time, or bring them together in groups, or let your sponsor help you, or let somebody in your upline help you. If you're afraid or scared to share it with somebody you think is a big hitter, well, I'll help you, okay? Or let your sponsor help you, or let somebody else in your upline help you. Expose the business to 5 people a day, 5 days a week. Now, what do I mean by that? That means you have to make a presentation. It means you got to send out an email with a link to your website saying, hey, look, I found this exciting thing. I'm really excited about it. Take a look at the videos. Tell me what you think. Duh. That's just sharing, okay? Doesn't say you got to do this. That's just sharing. That's one thing. You can send out a text with a link. I've got several texts written up that I've shared with everybody in the room. You can do that. That's an exposure, okay? Another way to expose a business, it's a little bit more physical, but I like to have it, and you got to have your product though, you know, you got to have your silver coin. That's what I call the coin drop. You can be standing in line for anything, for the movie, for the grocery line, to buy a book, whatever you stand in line for. Buy a power tool, and while you're waiting in line, just you got a person in front of you, a person in back of you, just pick one. Pick the one that doesn't have the sourest look on their face. And say, you mind if I ask you a couple of crazy questions? Ask them, hold your hand out, drop the coin in their hand, and you ask them, do you know what that is? And they say, well, it looks like a silver dollar. Or most of them will say that if you drop the 1 ounce silver coin in there. And you say, well, actually, it's 1 ounce of pure silver that's in your hand. Now, if you had a choice, would you rather have just one in your hand, a whole handful, a shoebox full, a house full, all you could get, or none? If you had a choice, which would you rather have? Most people are going to say, what? A house full, or all I can get. If they say anything more than all I get, if they say a shoebox full or a handful, I say, you sure? If you had a choice, you'd only want a handful, not a whole bunch? And they say, oh, no, no. But if they say they don't want any, none, take your coin out of the hand, put it in your pocket, don't say anything else, okay? You might have that person tapping on your shoulder, but if they don't, that's okay. That still counts as an exposure because you made a contact with a person that puts fog on a mirror. That's what we call an exposure, okay? So when they say all I can get, you say, me too. Now, I have found a way that we can earn these coins, buy them at cost, earn some extra money, a little bit or a whole bunch, and have fun in the process. Does any of that interest you? And if they say no, take your coin out of your hand, put it in your pocket, don't say anything else, okay? But if they say yeah, then you take your other tool, your 7kmetals card with your website on it and some little slogan about earning up to $500 or $1,000 a week or whatever you got. And you've got places in your website you can order your card. And you hand it to them and say, watch the videos on that website and explain everything to you. Have any questions, call me. You made an exposure. Doesn't mean they're going to get in business. Doesn't even mean that they're going to go to the website and watch the videos. But you made an exposure and you got your card out. Okay? 5 people a day, 5 days a week. An exposure. Exposure should take you, if you're doing 5 a day, 5 a week, an exposure should take you no longer than 15 minutes. That's, if you're doing emails, that's copy and paste, put the address on, it's out. If you're doing Texas, same thing, copy and paste, it's out, okay? If you're walking around, it take you a little longer, but you're doing it in the course of what you're doing. The exposure time is only the time that you're talking to them, okay? That's the only time that is. Now, in that 5 people, 5 days a week, that's 25 exposures, okay? You're going to start, if you can get their name and address, get a card back from them, you got a means to follow up. Now, if you send it out to a person that you have, you got a means to follow up. Follow-up training comes in the skills, attitudes, and techniques. That comes later. But you need to first make exposures. Now, on your list, the first thing you're going to do on your list, this is a list of everybody you know. Now, every person in here can make a list of it. I know you're going to say, I can't do that. But every person in here can write a list of 500 people they know in their life. Easy. And we got some memory joggers and some things to help you do that. But I just want you to make your list of 50 or 100, but make your initial list of 50. Here's what everybody skips. And you can't skip this. You got to make your list. If you skip making your list of your 50 people, you are not going to be successful in this. Because everybody else is going to skip it too. They're going to do what you do. You got to be able to say, hey, I did my list. And then I worked my list. Now, what I want you to do off your list of people, these are people you know, everybody you know within an hour from you, that you physically go have a cup of coffee with them, meet with them, sit with them, and you sit down and you watch the overview video in your back office. Well, it's up on your front page now. So you watch the overview. It's 22 minutes long. Make sure you sit there and watch it with them. And after it's over, you turn to them and you say, see any reason not to join right now? That's the only question you have to learn. Any questions or reasons they don't join, then that's to get them on an opportunity call, to get them on a 3-way call, or to bring them here to meet other people in the business. And the business is truly that simple. There's no more to it than that. But I do like to tell you a little bit about, before, as we wrap it up here, what I call the parts that you get the training in terms of how to make more exposures, because that's more skills. We have separate trainings on that. Like the postcards, you can send out postcards. You can buy those on the link that's there. That's an exposure. Send out 5 postcards a day. Okay? Well, what you will learn in these 2 years, and I like to give you 2 things real quick. I'm not going to do the trainings. I'm going to give you an overview of what they are. But you will learn the 7 principles of success. Now, they're all in the Bible. So if you want some head start reading, as part of your 15 minutes, if you read the Bible 15 minutes a day, that counts too, okay? And you'll find these 7 P's. The first one is patience. So that's why you won't get so frustrated and get mad and quit and all this kind of stuff. Why are you quitting? You're quitting your own success. You don't have any bosses in this business. Okay? Number 2 is perseverance. So you got to learn how to persevere with your exposures, with your follow-ups, with your contacts, with your own attitude, and persistence. Anytime anybody has a question, they are truly interested, you just don't know it. And they may tell you no, but get in next year. And if you're not persistent with them, they're not going to get in on your team. They're going to get in on somebody else's team. And you did all the groundwork. You got to learn how to prospect. Yep. Prospecting is what I call sharing. I like to use sharing, but it is truly prospecting. Okay? And if you treat it like evangelism, you already kind of have a hint of how to do it. But you got to have posture, because see, if you do not believe in this, they're going to sense it immediately. So if you don't believe, they aren't going to believe. Andy, do you think I don't believe?
No. You absolutely believe.
I absolutely believe. And I'm the least person that needs to believe. Because I don't need it. But I enjoy it, and I have fun, and I'm not going to turn down the extra dollars or the extra gold and silver. I always need extra gold and silver.
Absolutely.
Right?
Sure.
Super deal.
That was my place.
So posture is one of those most important principles of success. 6 is priority. So if you say, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. So get on getting the list of 50 made tonight. Print it off on your website, start filling in the blanks until you got at least 50 down. And then all your contact information. And that leads to the final principle of success, and it's the one that you get to enjoy, called prosperity. That's the P that I really like. And you will too. So it's called the 7 principles of success. I have a training on each one of those P's, okay? And then the first one that I'll give you is the 3 7s of what I call time, freedom, and wealth. And there's a whole training on this, but I'll go through the outline real quick because it's all part of what we do here. And the first part of it is the 7 steps to success with 7kmetals. Step 1, really easy. Understand the value of your business and treat it like big business. Did that sound familiar about the very beginning? Only you can fire yourself. So you're going to connect with people that are where you want to be. Forget about all those losers. Forget about all those naysayers that say those things don't work. Argue with Success Magazine then. Argue with people who has already been successful. Argue with the people who are giving all those testimonies. Apparently it does work. See? Learning posture, learning how to deal with objections, you know, and make an investment to attend a company-sponsored event. Now, I'm not talking about our event. I'm talking about a company-sponsored event. Because when they open up, they're going to start having, you know, annual or semi-annual company meetings. That's what you really want to attend. You're going to learn a lot more about your company and the people and make a lot of connections then. Step 2, make certain you get started in the business properly. So if you follow the training in right there in your back office, everybody's got the same training. And if you share this video that I'm doing right now, everybody have the ground of the training, you have the mints of the training, and then share the attitude article, the copy of the Success Magazine, the $5,000 article. That means the tax breaks have been home-based business. And the little chart that how we do the compensation plan on by hand, okay? The little circles. And remember, no shortcuts. Don't say I didn't keep all the list in my head. No shortcuts. And so apply the job description. The 5 keys to wealth is the job description. Make a commitment, 5 to 10 hours a week. Make your list. Attend an opportunity or business training session once a week. Spend 30 minutes per day on your website watching all the videos, reading everything in your website until you know everything about it, and expose the business to 5 people a day, 5 days a week, and make at least 3 presentations, one-on-one to individuals. One-on-one means belly button to belly button, okay? Step 3, make a commitment and get started. Decide the time that your commitment, are you going to put 5 hours in, 7 hours in, 10 hours in, 15 on a weekly basis to launch your business, and stick with it and start just doing it. People do what you do. Step 4, make your plan, work your plan, take action. The quicker you dive into the water, the quicker you learn how to swim. And excitement is what sells the business. Oh, don't do, oh man, we might be able to make an extra money here. Man, I'm excited about this business. I'm excited about the business and what it can do for you and me. Okay? Us. Benefits and results. That's why the testimonies are so important. And learn your own testimony and, you know, keep it down real short and make it the same thing every time. I like to tell people you need to learn a 60-second testimony, a 2-minute testimony, and a 3-minute testimony. You learn that 60-second one or that 15-second one. It's much better if you get it less than 60 seconds. Okay, step 5, very important. Be willing to put aside the past successes and failures to be totally coachable. Follow the leader. Duplication equals volume equals income. Step 6, step up to leadership and then teach leadership. Since it's all duplication, everybody's going to teach and do the same thing. And step 7, quitting is not an option. Consistency in daily actions, persistency through rejection, and planned follow-up after each action leads to total success. Your success. Have fun with 7K. Make a lot of money. See you in 5 years, and you're going to all be wealthy and have a lot of gold and silver in your hands.